We have been exploring the depth of the self, the soul. We've been looking at the mind, which is that part of me which receives all the information from the external world through the sense organs. We've also been looking at the intellect, that part of me assessing all that information, and that part of me that's making all the decisions and judgments about how to deal with the world outside, how to respond, how to act. But then once we act, what happens? What we begin to understand is that each action leaves an imprint on my subconscious. This is really the third faculty, the third part of the self, the soul, is my subconscious, which is literally millions of past impressions that sit in the database of my subconscious. The language which I would like to use is samskara. It's a Sanskrit word, and it literally means an imprint of a past action that is recorded in the subconscious of the soul. In psychology, they say that when you do something 20 times, it becomes a habit. So as we can see in life, sometimes something happens, I react, and I react again. I do it many times. So I develop all this programming, I can say, emotional programming. And these habits, these emotional habits, these mental habits are recorded in my subconscious. So it's like I have this huge database of my past sitting in my subconscious. I can say, who am I? In one sense, I'm the sum total of all my past actions. Sometimes I think of this subconscious like a memory track, a long track, and at each point of this long track of my past, there are impressions recorded, the impressions of what I experienced at that time, both positive and negative. Have you ever had the experience that you're just going about your day quite happily and something even minor happens, something a bit innocuous, but there's a huge reaction inside. Something small is said and I feel so hurt, so disturbed. This is because my subconscious impression has responded, and it's actually taken over my mind, and it's like it floods into my mind, this whole feeling and emotion. And so it's like, on the one hand, I make a decision in my intellect how I want to be, but on the other hand, the force of my past is making me behave and act in a different way. And this is why really the long-term practice of meditation is to transform this subconscious, these sanskaras, these imprints, because this is the real stuff that keeps overlaying and affecting my life in the present. So when I meditate, I learn how to relax, to calm down in the present. But when I have a deep quality of meditation, what is happening is I'm reprogramming my subconscious. And I begin to learn that my present subconscious is actually the product of body conscious actions. Because my intellect is body conscious, I make body conscious decisions. So a lot of my programming is full of ego, anger, hurt, fear, and more. But actually, as I go deep into the soul, I begin to realize that originally the soul was aware of itself. I was soul conscious. My original impressions are of peace, of love, of purity, of happiness, and much more. So actually, as I begin to meditate, I start to reconnect with my original programming. And as I begin to do that, the programming of the present has less influence on me and my intellect and my decisions. And this is why really the long-term approach to practical meditation is to have a quality of meditation that's going to really shift and transform this subconscious of the self or the soul.